Alright, let's pick up right where we left off. Just a quick reminder, you can select individual groups using the Select by Group option. When it's on, you can grab the whole group at once. Starting with this section, I want to add a bit of chaos. We'll direct these guides roughly like this to create some randomness. Since the back of the head is almost done, let's start building the next part and generate the actual hair. Unlike the mask workflow, here we draw everything with the Create brush, but we'll get into the details of that later. Now let's get into editing these guides. First, we'll align them with the existing ones to figure out the right length, then I'll shape them exactly the way I want. Okay, the length looks good. Since we've modified the shape, we need to check the guides underneath. Select everything and hit Unhide. Yep, that's exactly what I was going for. But some areas still need a little fine-tuning. I'm aligning this part now to keep that chaotic feel. Also, let's adjust the bottom section. So, we have our guide system for the back ready to go. Later, we'll unhide the top and finish that up too. Now, let's move on to refining the hair. In a mask workflow, you'd create all the guides first, paint the mask, and then add hair from guides. But here we can be much more precise. Just add an Edit Guides modifier right after hair from guides, and start building the shape with the Create brush. Let's block out the back so we can see the results. We'll start from the bottom. As you remember, everything is organized into groups. I'll temporarily put this section into Group 5. Use Select by Group. Hold Alt to deselect what we don't need, and set it to 5. We'll fix this later. Now, when using Select by Group, it only affects this part of the back. Let's isolate this area and get to work. To keep the guide smooth, we'll add Ornatrix Strand Detail. It's very easy to add. Go to the Ornatrix menu and choose Add Detail Modifier. You can also select the corresponding modifier on the Ornatrix toolbar. The modifier icon looks like this. Clicking it will add it to the modifier stack. You can also pin the modifier button to this panel. It's already here for me, so I'll just click it. In the settings, let's start with 30 points. Ideally, for long hair, you need 70, but 30 is enough for now. We can increase it later if needed. Crank up the smoothing amount and find a point count that keeps the shape but stays smooth. Now use Collapse 2 and don't forget to pick the scalp in the distribution settings. The result? Perfectly smooth guides with 30 CV. This makes styling and edit guides so much cleaner. No more jagged lines. To get those hair clumps, add another edit guides on top of hair from guides. Don't forget to set change tracking to Strand. Then activate the Create brush. Go to the Brushes section and click this icon. In Create brush, set the mode to Random. Now as you draw, the hair grows right along the guides. We discussed this in previous videos. I think it's clear how the brush works and why we baked the guides. Since we baked the guides, the hair follows our custom shape perfectly. Now you can gradually build the entire hairstyle, piece by piece. Let's start at the bottom. This is how you build the hair structure, editing precisely where you need to. Notice how these hair clumps are correctly interpolated. The resulting shape follows the guides. Also, The guide's groups are assigned while using the brush. Okay, we have our clumps. Now we need to adjust the change width slightly. Let's set the to 0.1 for a clear viewport preview. And now we can see the hair in the viewport. If you're using V-Ray, you can check the V-Ray IPR viewport. Just set it as your primary renderer. But honestly, V-Ray can be a bit slow with hair preview. I personally prefer Chaos Vantage. Make sure you have a light source, like a V-Ray dome light. And remember, to see the hair in the render, you have to add the V-Ray Ornatrix mod. It looks way better than the standard viewport. Just a heads up, it renders the whole object, so isolation won't work here. I'm not a fan of the usual pre-render noise you get every time you move the camera. You could use the NVIDIA denoiser, but the best way to preview hair with shadows right now is Chaos Vantage. Just hit Initialize Live Link to Chaos Vantage. This launches Chaos Vantage, and the hair will render almost instantly. It takes a moment to process the scene on the first launch, but after that, the rendering is immediate and noise-free. I really like the DLAA mode. As you can see, there's none of that IPR noise. This allows you to quickly check your results, shadows, and so on. Using this is entirely up to you. To be continued.